Hello all, welcome to DevOps Techie channel. So this channel is mainly useful for DevOps related content, both conceptual and interview based and real-time scenario based issues we are discussing as part of our daily discussions. So today I come up with everyone come up with the Kubernetes interview questions or Jenkins interview questions or Docker, whatever the tools in DevOps. But today I am trying something different, like just giving options as well. Because for a few of the product based companies, they are conducting written based interview questions only for Kubernetes. If you have gone through that first a written technical assessment, then you will go to the next round. So from that I got this idea, like why don't I explain the things in Kubernetes as a option based ones. So today I come up with a few of the questions with respect to Kubernetes as well. So coming to the topic, first one, what happens if a pod crashes in Kubernetes? Kubernetes, everything is representing in the Kubernetes pod, right? So if that pod crashes, what will happen? Node restarts or deployment creates a new pod, or service restarts or cluster rebuilds. If you don't know option also, then you can simply delete one by one and you can choose. So we have the deployment which will have the replica set, and if one of the pod is crashed, so that your deployment will create new pods. So don't uh, think like it's a waste if we have seen this option and answers, but from this you can gain what is the scenario and what is the solution as well. You can think like this as well if you are not interested in option choice wise. Then here this is a scenario they will come up in interview, like okay, for one of your applications you deployed already but pod is continuously crashing in Kubernetes, but how your application makes available, like that they will ask. So you can assume this one as like a scenario based as well. And which Kubernetes object maintains the desired number of pods? Is it like a service? Service is used to expose our application, right? Config maps and secrets related to environment based and deployment, and namespace. Namespace is for individual isolation of the things, right? So it's also deleted. So the thing is like deployment where we are maintaining the desired number of pods. So, which command is used to view logs of a part? If you want to see logs of a part, so there are a couple of certain commands in Kubernetes. Almost it's 17 to 20. I explained just in 5 minutes in one of our video. So if you don't watch, please subscribe and go to that video. You will get all the commands in Kubernetes which I have already explained. Just 2 days back only I uploaded in our channel. So there is Kubectl get pods, get services, everything is I represented there. So which command here is used to see the logs? Is it Kubectl logs? Is it Kubectl logs pod name? You want to describe your pod, then what is the command? If you want to go to the container you want to edit, then how you will do means here kubectl execute exec it pod name and bash, right? So here the correct one is kubectl logs pod name. So sometimes in interview they will test the with the commands as well to know your real time experience. So how do pods communicate across different nodes? For suppose you have 3 nodes, then how each pod in different node communicate with each other through service, through ingress, or through cluster networking, or through config map. By if it's a technical requirement, you can delete one option, but if you want to know the concept, then how you need to know and do some research on how this cluster networking is useful to have the communication between pods which are present in different nodes. So which service type exposes an application externally? As everyone know, end users will access the application. So right, we are exposing the application through service. In Kubernetes we have 3 types of services. or 4 you can say, but majorly 3. One is cluster IP to have the internal things, node port at node level, load balancer. Through load balancer only we are exposing our applications to the external world. What is the default service type in Kubernetes? If you didn't mention anything in the manifest YAML or configuration YAML file, then its default it will take cluster IP only. So irrespective of load balancer, we can use ingress as well. So I will do one video on in this ingress completely in the next upcoming videos. Here the default service type, if you didn't mention, that will be cluster IP only. Here we can come up with another scenario based. A pod is running but users cannot access the application. What you would check first? Did you check PVC? Did you check labels? Did you check namespace? Or did you check service configuration? Here option is service configuration, because our applications are exposed through service only. How the service, it's like not only it's depend on one issue, for each time it will be a different, right? So is it sometimes it's a mismatch of labels also, but first action item, what is the issue? Is it accessing the applications or not? This is the thing. So by service and then namespace and then selectors labels, that's like internal step by step you will check. Next one, which command shows detailed information about a part? If you want to know all the parts, like describe, you want to, what is the command? The kubectl logs pod name is used to see the logs of particular pod. Kubectl get pod means you want to get one particular pod under one namespace, hyphen and namespace. If you go to the pod, then exec pod name, or if you want to see enter events everything, kubectl describe pod name. How do you achieve zero downtime deployment? Zero downtime means continuously your application will be available to the end users. There are a couple of strategies there for this zero downtime to make high availability of the application. There are canary deployment is there, blue green deployment is there, rolling update strategy is also there. So simply you can delete pods, restart node, you can delete these options. So based on your project you can choose these downtime deployment strategy. So one of the scenario based is like, what happens if a worker node goes down? In the worker node we have couple of pods, right, in the namespace. So if for suppose if the worker node itself goes down, what will be the action? Means pods can be rescheduled. Pods are rescheduled. Entire cluster, is it entire cluster stops if the node is goes down? No, right? In the cluster nodes we have control plane stops, pods are rescheduled, service is deleted. So here option is pods are rescheduled. If the worker node goes down, pods are rescheduled. What happens when a pod is deleted in a deployment? If during the deployment process, if a pod is deleted, what will happen? Is the application stops, deployment creates a new pod, service creates a pod, road reboots. Here deployment itself we are having zero downtime deployment strategy. As part of that strategy, if we are deleting old pod means deployment creates a new pod. Coming to 12th one, which command is used to enter a running pod? If you want to go to the running pod, as we discussed a while ago, kubectl exec hyphen it pod name hyphen fn slash bin slash bash. So that will go to a running pod. Which object stores non-confidential configuration data? As we have configure map and secrets, so secret is for sensitive information. If it's a non-sensitive or non-confidential information, then it will have this config map. Service is used to expose the application namespace for isolated names, right, for each thing. So as we have a couple of products in our project like flow one or connect UIV. So for example, that dedication separation will be happen through namespace -n XYZ namespace -n ABC namespace. That's a different one, right? So which object stores passwords and secret? As we discussed just now, it's a secret. It's for sensitive information. Service used to expose the application. Config map is for non-sensitive information. Non-confidential deployment means if there is an issue with the pod, to have the desired count of pods by creating the new ones. Last one, which command shows all resources in that particular namespace? Is it kubectl all? Kubectl get pods means you will get all the pods. Kubectl get all means it will show all resources which are particularly in that particular namespace. This is the last question, guys. So in just 10 minutes we covered 15 scenario based questions which are related to real time ones, which test your deep knowledge in Kubernetes. So please subscribe to this channel. You will be notified once I upload the new content related to DevOps for your professional growth. Thank you, everyone.